Yo, welcome to the show. It's Boston's Banter with Frank the Bank and Keith KLava. You know the answer. Talking sports, breaking down the play so raw. From the Celtics to the Sox, we giving you the score. Catch the vibe, we coming live. Filling up your feed, let the passion thrive. Every dunk, every run, we analyze the moves. Shout out to the fans, feel the rhythm and grooves. From Gillette to the Garden, we ain't missing a beat. Frank and KLava bring the fire, can't accept defeat.
What up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is Pissah. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith KLava, LaCava. What's going on, Broy Breton?
Not much, Nate Brolder.
Brolder's here in the house. We had we're going to get into the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl stat challenge was a pretty good one. We had 5 winners. There was actually some close guesses. The correct total was actually 331, and Capola was only 2 yards off, got first place. That's really good.
Got a card coming his way.
Yeah, second place, Kelly Mullen, only 3 yards off. Really good guess. My sister Liz got third. Yep. She was 8 yards off. Congratulations. You got the Ramondre Stevenson. Steve Suey, only 10 yards off. He did good. And then Rhett was 11 yards off. So great guesses, guys. And you got some cards coming your way, so that's great.
Absolutely.
Let's get into the Wicked Pissah news. Keith.
Yes, sir, Frankie. And as always, we're going to get into the Bruins update.
Yeah,
Frankie,
buddy.
Break it down for me.
So, I mean, right now we're on the Winter Olympic break, as you all know. We only had one game since last episode, really.
That's right.
So, and it was another shootout loss. We've had 2 shootout losses in a row, which is kind of aggravating.
Yeah.
They're in the last 10 games, they're 6-1-3, right? But those 3 are all shootout losses or overtime losses. So 2 shootout losses, 1 overtime loss. Kind of crazy. You know, we were talking a lot about them not losing in overtime for the longest time, right? So
I know.
Yeah, so 32, 20, and 5. So they're up to 5 overtime losses after that long stretch of not having even one, which was kind of cool. I mean, to not have it, but now it's not cool that they're losing them in overtime and in the shootout. So 9 points off of first place. The only game was against the Panthers. That was a crazy game. Bruins were up 2-1.
You want to win that one. They're the reigning champs, too.
Yeah, so it's like we were up 2-1 going in the second. Then we were down 4-2. Then we came back tied it, sent it to overtime, and of course, it goes to a shootout. Brad Marchand, of course, in the shootout.
People.
It was sick. You got to give him credit. It was a sick goal, but damn, that just killed us. So against his former team, but that's really all we have since last episode. They're off until like the 26th of February. So I mean, unfortunately, hopefully none of our guys get hurt, and enjoy watching them in the Olympics. So
absolutely, Frankie.
Keith, what do we got on the Celts?
Celtics, baby. All right, let's break it down. So the C's are currently 34-19 on the season. Right now, they're sitting at third, technically tied for second.
Yeah, we have the same record.
Same record with the Knicks. Obviously, it was a tough loss to them. But let's break it down. What they did this past week. They beat Cooper Flagg and the Mavs 110-100 on the road this past Tuesday. Jaylen Brown had 33 points and 11 rebounds. Another double-double by him. Followed by a 98-96 comeback win at home versus the Heat this past Friday.
Comeback, yeah.
Dude, the C's were down by as much as 22, but rallied with a 36-point third quarter, holding the Heat to only 15 points in the third. But Frankie, newly acquired Nikola Vucevic, he had a double-double his first game with the C's, 11 points and 12 rebounds.
We're going to see a lot of double-doubles out of him, just like you said, walking double-double right there. That's a great trade.
Love seeing that in his first game with us.
Oh, Brad Stevens knows what he's doing. He's a great.
You know the deal, bro. And lastly, like I was just talking about, an unfortunate 111-89 home loss versus the Knicks on Sunday. Like I said, that would have helped us a lot in the standings. I mean, technically, like I said, tied for second. We're sitting at third with them, but we got the same record as them as of right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, they're 7-3 in the last 10. Not a bad record. I mean, the Knicks have been surging, though. They're 9-1 too. They've been playing out of their minds, and we're fighting with them for that 2 seed right now.
Yes,
we don't want to see that.
Absolutely. Well, Frankie, actually, I got some more Celtics news. So, obviously, the NBA trade deadline was this past week. Like I said, we acquired Nikola Vucevic. We talked about trading Anthony Simons. But we actually just traded a few more of our guys for some financial compensation. Celtics traded forward Chris Boucher to the Jazz in a financial move like I was talking about to reduce their luxury tax bill. He was on an expiring $2.3 million deal. They also traded forward Josh Minott to the Nets in exchange for $110,000 in cash considerations to create cap space and get under the luxury tax. He signed with the C's as a free agent this past offseason from Minnesota. He was averaging 5.8 points per game on 50% shooting from the fields. And lastly, in another financial move, they also traded veteran forward / center Xavier Tillman to the Hornets for a top 55 protected 2030 second round pick. And like I said, they've been making a lot of these moves to get under the luxury tax threshold, which this move officially got them under that.
Yeah, got under, and you got a little bit something back, which I like. I mean, the best news of the week was Tatum. About Jason Tatum's practice. He got cleared to practice and go back to the G League and get some.
With the main Celtics.
So it's going to be good for that, too. So hopefully he's back sooner than we thought.
Absolutely, Frankie. Like I said, he's going to come back healthy. They're going to have some money to spend to build around him and Jalen. But Frankie, we actually got some more notable NBA trades. So this trade deadline in particular, man, it broke an all-time record.
Crazy. Yeah.
There were 28 separate deals involving 73 players in total.
That's crazy.
And we're not going to bring up every single one?
No, just a couple of the big ones.
I'm going to bring up the notable ones, though.
Of course.
So the Cavs acquired James Harden from the Clippers for Darius Garland. Cavs also traded Lonzo Ball to the Jazz, but are expected to waive him so he can sign elsewhere. He's a free agent. Maybe the Celtics will look at him. Who knows? The Warriors acquired big man Kristaps Porzingis, reuniting him with Al Horford from the Hawks.
That was kind of cool for them. That's a smart move for them. They got a small lineup there.
He just got to get healthy, man, with that
That's
sickness.
the problem with him. He is just not healthy. You know what I mean?
Right. And the Warriors acquired him, trading Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield. The Wizards acquired Anthony Davis from the Mavericks, along with D'Angelo Russell and a few others, for most notably Chris Middleton, Marvin Bagley, 2 first-round picks, and 3 seconds. And Frankie, that Luka trade is looking even worse now. The Mavs essentially got Chris Middleton for Luka. Freaking Doncic, dude.
Unreal. Davis gets hurt a lot too, though. He's been hurt a lot this year too. But still, it's kind of crazy.
That trade looks even worse now.
It's just so bad, dude.
The Wizards just got Trae Young too, so they're trying to build for success. I mean, it looks like AD is to miss the rest of the season as he recovers from hand and groin injury, like you were just talking about.
Of course.
But Frankie, let's get into some NFL news.
Yeah, we got some NFL stuff going on.
Oh, dude, we got one of the rookies who was looking like he was going to be defensive rookie of the year.
He's runner-up, right? I mean, in my book.
Really up his future.
I'm saying, this was crazy. I don't know if you guys saw this video, but it's wild.
Dude, let's just bring this up real quick.
Do it.
So the Falcons star rookie James Pearce Jr. was arrested on charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, aggravated stalking, fleeing police. He actually rammed his Lambo into his ex-girlfriend's car numerous times, and he also intentionally drove into a police officer, striking him. He's now facing 10 plus years in prison, 5 felony charges.
I don't know what. The video was insane. It took like 6 cops to keep this guy down on the ground and try to get him in handcuffs. He was still standing up. This dude, I don't know if I can't say what he was on, if anything, but my man is strong as a ox, first of all. Secondly, what did this girl do to you, man? Because that's just wild. I know you had a bright future. 10.5 sacks, did you?
Right.
Like, insane. Like, what is going on here?
Like Frankie just said, 10.5 sacks. Actually, Atlanta traded up to draft him in the first round last year.
He's an absolute beast, dude, on the field. But, like, obviously off the field, he might be a beast, too, apparently. So
other than the 10.5 sacks, he also had 26 total tackles, along with the forced fumble and a fumble recovery. And he was a runner-up to be Rookie Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, he was my runner-up, too. You know what I mean?
That's just crazy, bro. What are you doing, man? You can get any girl you want.
Just ruined your life.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Disgusting, man. Oh.
In more NFL news, actually, we got some good news here, man. Some guys we're very familiar with that are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame class of 2026.
Yes, sir.
So let's break it down. So we got quarterback Drew Brees. He played in the NFL from 01 to 2020.
One of my favorites of all time.
Oh,
honestly.
Absolutely. With the Chargers and most notably the Saints for 15 seasons. He retired as the NFL's career leader in both passing yards with 80,353 and touchdown passes with 571. And he's currently second in both those categories behind only Tom Brady.
Of course.
Never won league MVP, but he has a Super Bowl to his name and Super Bowl MVP, and he led the NFL in passing 7 times, completion percentage 6 times, and touchdown passes 4 times. Congrats to him, well deserved.
Yeah, unbelievable. He was short too for the quarterback position, and he just made it work, man. He was such a good baller, good accuracy.
Oh, absolutely. Then you got wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald.
Another one of my favorites. Come on.
Spent his entire 17-year career with the Cardinals after being a top 3 pick in the 04 NFL draft. He is second to only Jerry Rice in career catches with 1,432.
Insane.
And also receiving yards with 17,492 while being 6th in touchdown catches with 121. He almost helped Arizona win their first Super Bowl in 2008 versus the Steelers, and he had an incredible 2008 playoff run, dude. In 4 playoff games that year, he had 30 catches for 546 yards and 7 touchdowns. You want to hear this interesting stat, too? The dude has more career tackles, 41, than drops with 29.
I love that, dude. That's insane. That draft class was sick. The 2004 draft class was insane. Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, that draft class was sick.
Absolutely. Then you got linebacker Luke Kuechly. He played his entire short 8-year career with the Panthers from 2012 to 2018 after being that's what I was just going to say. After being a first-round pick out of BC in 2012. And, man, still getting into the Hall of Fame with a short 8-year career.
I mean, again, another guy I loved. His injuries really held him back from being even better than he was. I'm glad to see him get in the Hall.
He won Defensive Rookie of the Year, followed it up with Defensive Player of the Year the very next season. 7 straight Pro Bowls, 5-time All-Pro, helped the Panthers win 3 straight division titles and a Super Bowl berth in 2015. He finished his career with 1,092 total tackles, 690 solo, 12.5 sacks, 7 forced fumbles, 18 INTs, and 2 defensive touchdowns, including 2 more in a single postseason run. Then we got our boy, kicker Adam Vinatieri.
Yes, sir. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
Played from 1996 to 2019 with 2 teams, 96 to 05 with the Patriots, where he won 3 Super Bowls, including 2 game winners in the Super Bowl, and a legendary critical kick in a blizzard playoff game versus the Raiders. We all remember that.
Yes, sir.
Then with the Colts from 06 to 2019, where he won another Super Bowl. He's also the NFL's all-time leading scorer with 2,911. But that, not only that, Frankie, he's played in 397 games and has 655 field goals made. Those are both all-time records. And then lastly, this guy, it's been only a matter of time for him to get in.
Of course.
Running back Roger Craig.
Love it.
Played in the NFL from 1983 to 93, with most notably the 49ers. He also played for the Raiders and Vikings. Craig became the first player in NFL history to post 1,000 rushing and receiving yards in the same season in 1985. A 3-time Super Bowl champ, including back-to-back in the 1988 and 1989 seasons. He was also the first running back to have over 100 receiving yards in a Super Bowl. Also had 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl win over the Dolphins in 85. So well-deserved to all those guys.
Love it.
But lastly, man, we're going to bring up some notable coach hirings.
Yeah.
Let's break it down real quick. So the Jets have hired former Panthers and Colts head coach Frank Reich as their OC. He was also Stanford's interim head football coach last season, so he's getting back to the NFL ranks. The Rams have hired former Commanders OC Cliff Kingsbury to their coaching staff. His title on the team's to be determined, but I'm sure it's going to be obviously something with the offense. And lastly, the Chargers have hired former Jets head coach Adam Gase as a passing game assistant. He's been out of the NFL the last 5 years, but now he returns to help the Chargers. And I'm not going to lie, man, that guy kind of sucked as a coach.
He was a coach, and now he's like the 10th in line.
Right.
At the coaching
yes,
position.
Yes, sir, Frankie.
Good stuff, brother.
That's all we got, man.
Another great Wicked Pissah news. Let's get into a Foxboro focus. Keith.
Yes, sir, Frankie. We all know what just happened, but before we get into that, Frankie, do you want the good or the bad news first?
Well, I mean, unless you're living under a rock, I'm sure you know what the freaking bad news is, but why don't we start with the good news?
Yes, sir, Frankie. So 2 of our coaches, man, won some awards during the award ceremony this past week.
Well deserved.
Absolutely. So let's break it down real quick. So our OC, Josh McDaniels, won Assistant Coach of the Year.
Nice.
Now, we didn't give a prediction on this category, but this isn't a surprise with how he helped the offense be successful, considering where they were last year. From 30th ranked to second in points per game with 28, man. 3rd in total yards with 6,449 and 5th in first downs with 360. What a transformation.
That was awesome.
This is his 3rd stint with us as OC. I mean, the guy had a Mac Jones-led offense get to the playoffs the last time he was with us.
That's true.
He was vital in Drake May's development, almost getting him to be league MVP. With all the show OCs we've had over the years, I'm glad he's back. And then, of course, Frankie, our head coach.
Well, this was like automatic. We knew this.
Absolutely. Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year. Now, his second time winning the award, he transformed a 4-13 team to 14-3, and it is the first Pats coach to win the award since Belichick in 2010.
Yep.
He's also praised for changing the team's identity and had this team clicking on all cylinders.
It's true.
His 10-win increase from the season before is tied for the largest improvement by a team with a new head coach in NFL history.
Yep.
A lot of players are going to want to play for him next season.
I love it. I'm going to give them a round of applause, and you're absolutely right on that. I mean, he's a player's coach. He's he wants to be out there with him, wants to fight for his guys the whole time. He's a great coach. So
that's right, Frankie.
I like to see the culture change back to where we're used to. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right, bro.
Why don't we get into the bad news? Hold on. I mean, people were calling for McDaniel's head after this game.
I was one of them.
You were one of them, but let's get into it.
I was also drinking too.
Yeah, we all were. We were all by the 3rd quarter gone.
So let's bring it up, Frankie. Unfortunately, Super Bowl 60, Patriots lost to the Seahawks 29-13, and you know what? The Patriots are now 6-6 in Super Bowls. It's actually an all-time record with Super Bowl losses. But hey, I'd rather be 6-6 in Super Bowls with 12 appearances rather than the teams that have never been to a Super Bowl.
Been to a Super Bowl. I know. Listen, nobody expected us to be here. We had the 3rd easiest schedule, blah blah blah, whatever it was. It's like who cares? You even with that strength of schedule, Vegas had us as an 8.5 winning team. I mean, 8.5 team wins this year. That was our over under for team wins. We had 14. We were tied with Denver, for the first seed technically, but we ended up getting this 2 seed and ran it all the way to the Super Bowl.
That's right, man.
You got to tip your cap to them.
You do.
I was at Foxboro watching the game, having a good time. There was one guy with a Miami sweater on, rooting for Seattle. I'm like, what are you even doing here? First of all, Miami. I'm just yelling. He's like, oh, ha ha. I'm like, at least we don't have Tua. I'm like, what are you even doing? When's the last time you even been to the playoffs?
That's
what are you talking about? I'm like,
the last time you won a playoff game.
I'm like, get out of here, bro. I'm like, you're just one of those guys that are looking for attention. I was like getting mad about it. I'm like, bro, they had a good season. You tip your cap. Seattle had a monster team. They had a great defense.
Absolutely.
What can you do? You can't win every single game. You can't win every time you go there. We had a chance to be there. It's great experience for a young quarterback who played unbelievable this year. You know, I don't know. It is what it is. I hate people that talk like, oh, this, that, and the other thing. And, you know, it is what it is.
No credit, man. But, Frankie, let's bring up the highlights real quick.
Super Bowl 60, Patriots versus Seahawks. Seahawks got the ball first, and on the first play of the game, Sam Darnold handed it off to Kenny Walker III for a nice 10-yard gain. Seahawks would then settle for a 33-yard field goal, which is converted successfully by kicker Jason Myers to make the score 3-0 to start the Super Bowl. Patriots next drive, they're at the Seattle 45, and Drake May out of the shotgun. He's feeling the pressure, and he's going to get sacked by defensive end Derek Hall. Ultimately, the Patriots are going to have to punt. 3 plays into the Seahawks next drive, Sam Darnold out of the shotgun. He's feeling the pressure by safety Jalen Hawkins, and he's going to throw a deep pass downfield to Jackson Smith-Njigba, but it's overthrown, 3 and out. Patriots are going to get the ball back. Patriots next drive facing a 3rd and 15, and Drake May again is under pressure. This time he's getting sacked by corner Devin Witherspoon. Patriots are going to have to punt again. Seahawks next drive, they're also facing a 3rd and 15, and Sam Darnold out of the shotgun. He's just going to be looking for Jackson Smith-Njigba, but it's incomplete. They're going to punt. Patriots next drive, start of the second quarter, 2nd and 5. Drake May looking for Hunter Henry, but it goes right through his gloves. Should have been an easy catch. You got to catch those, especially in the Super Bowl. Look at this, right through his gloves and almost intercepted. Next Seahawks drive, Sam Darnold out of the play action, and he's going to be going deep for wide receiver Rashid Shaheed, but it gets broken up by cornerback Christian Gonzalez. Hell of a breakup. Very next play, Sam Darnold's going to hand it off to running back Kenny Walker III, and he's breaking some tackles. He's running up the left sideline for a nice 30-yard gain. Then 2 plays later, they're going to hand it off to Kenny Walker. Again, he's hitting the right side being patient, and he's getting up the right sideline. He's getting another big gain, this time for 29 yards. Seahawks would then have to settle for another field goal, this time a 39-yarder by kicker Jason Myers to make the score 6-0. Patriots next drive, they're trying to get something going, and Drake May out of the shotgun, and again he's feeling relentless pressure, and this time he's getting sacked by defensive lineman Riley Mills. The offensive line could not contain the Seahawks D-line. Seahawks next drive, they're getting down close to the red zone, and Sam Darnold out of the shotgun. He's going to be looking for wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba, but again, another nice breakup by cornerback Christian Gonzalez. Look at this right here. It was actually almost intercepted. That was a hell of a breakup. First half was nothing but field goals, and the Seahawks are settling for another one, this time a 41-yarder to make the score 9-0 at the end of the first half. And then we're going to fast forward to 9 minutes left in the third quarter, and the Seahawks are yet again settling for another field goal, this time another 41-yard field goal to make the score 12-0. We're going to fast forward to the end of the third quarter, and Drake May and the Patriots trying to get anything going, and he's feeling the pressure again, this time getting sacked and losing the ball. He was sacked by defensive end Derek Hall, and it gets recovered by defensive tackle Byron Murphy. The offensive line looked like absolute in this game. 5 plays into the Seahawks' next drive off the Patriots turnover, and Sam Darnold off the play action, and wouldn't you know, a touchdown finally in the Super Bowl. He connects with tight end A.J. Barner for a 16-yard touchdown to make the score 19-0. Patriots next drive, and they know it's do or die now. So Drake May is going to be going deep to wide receiver Mac Hollins, who makes a nice contested catch for a 35-yard touchdown, 19-7. So Patriots, after stopping the Seahawks, getting the ball back, trying to mount a comeback, and Drake May going deep for wide receiver Kyle Williams, not even close. It gets intercepted by safety Julian Love, who's going to be taking it back 35 yards. And would you look at that, another field goal, and this one's going to be a 26-yard field goal by kicker Jason Myers to make the score 22-7 with 5.5 minutes left in the fourth. Next Patriots drive, 4.5 minutes left in the fourth. They got to get something going here, and Drake May again is feeling pressure, and the ball's loose, and it's actually intercepted by Uchenna Woso, if I said that correctly, and he's taking it back 45 yards for the pick 6 touchdown. The Seahawks are going to go up 29-7. It is not looking good. 8 plays into the Patriots' next drive, and they're in the red zone. Drake May feeling the pressure again. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's going to find a wide open Ramondre Stevenson for a walk-in 7-yard touchdown, but it don't matter. It's going to be too little, too late. Unfortunately, the Seahawks are going to go on to win Super Bowl 60, beating the Patriots 29-13. Nobody expected us to get there, but yeah, this still sucks.
Yeah, so it was unfortunate, man. It was definitely a slow start for the Patriots, and they just kind of dug themselves a hole. Defense was playing great and all that, but
the
like
defense
I said,
played their off. Let's be real. They kept us in that game
They did.
for the longest time possible, and it's like We showed a little bit of spark there at the end, but it was just way too little too late. You know what I mean? And then just a couple of those turnovers. Like, we didn't get the turnovers. Donald threw a few that could have been picked, should have been picked, and they weren't. And then vice versa, they took advantage on Seattle's defense. I mean, we talked about Seattle has one of the best defensive lines. They didn't have to blitz muscle. They're dropping
rush
every time. So because they have nasty players on their line. So they're dropping back into coverage, and there's nothing we could do about it.
Nothing.
You know?
Nothing at all, Frankie. So let's bring up what we noticed from the offense.
Yeah, let's do it.
So offense, obviously, they sucked big time.
Yep.
They had just 51 total yards before halftime, averaging a measly 2.2 yards per play. Now, I know football is a team sport and nobody's going to point fingers, but I got 3 points of blame on this offense. First, I'm starting with the O-line and Will Campbell in particular. Throughout the playoffs, the O-line has allowed 21 sacks, an NFL
That's a record.
And May was hit 11 times in this game.
And he gave up the most pressures in Super Bowl history. Will Campbell did. Again, he's a young player, learning experience. I know he's going to get better. You know his attitude is great.
Yeah,
and he's the right kind of teammate. But yeah, he did not have a good game.
Yeah, he had, like you said, 14 pressures, most allowed by a player all season. They allowed another total of 5 sacks in this game. And Will Campbell actually then declined to talk to the media after the game, which isn't a good look at all. But I get it, man. You're upset.
No,
but man, be a
I'm
pro.
fine with it. No, I'm fine with him not wanting to talk to him because you know what? He's upset about it. And he's pissed off, and he knew he's gonna have to shake it off. He's gotta live with it. It doesn't matter. Like, they're gonna throw shade at him.
I get it, man, but you still gotta at some point show the professionalism and talk to the media.
Give him a day. Let him think about what he wants to say. He knows he had a bad game. To me, I don't like to kick people when they're down. He had a terrible game. He knows he did. And it was on the biggest stage of his career. And now he's gonna shake it off. He's gonna come back better player, and we're all rooting for Will.
Apparently, he was playing with a torn ligament in his knee.
Yeah, I mean, he's a warrior. He's gonna be out there, and he's gonna be the guy we want him to be. It's gonna take some time. He's a rookie.
They don't plan on moving him from left tackle either, Vrabel said. So
hell no.
Then I want to call out Assistant Coach of the Year, Josh McDaniels. There was absolutely no urgency to get a drive going in the first half, Frankie. We noticed that. Played way too conservative at the 50, doing halfback draws, losing 4 yards, constant bad calls where they had to be aggressive. They settled for punts and exhausted our defense.
I didn't like a lot of the game plan. I mean, the first drive, they looked okay. Try to change field position. But again, to me, I'm looking at if you got a fast defense, the only way, a fast defensive line in particular, you have to beat them with speed. You have to do screens. You have to get Travion touches. He only had 3 or 4 touches, and a few times on the one end around, he had like 8 or 9 ends. But again, why is he not touching the ball more? You know what I mean?
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense. To me, it just seemed like there should have been a little bit different of a game plan for that speed of the defense. You know what I mean? To me, anyway. And again, you got to get the ball out quick. How do you do that? Short passes, screen plays.
They were going for they were just
home run after home run. Yeah, to me, at the end, you have to go for home run balls.
Oh, yeah.
In the beginning of the game, it was just like you said, very conservative and trying to let the defense hold them down. But you can't do that forever in every game. You're going to end up, what happened with this game,
And Drake May, who went 27 for 43, 295 pass yards, 2 touchdowns in the fourth, but again, committing numerous turnovers, a lost fumble on a sack, and 2 interceptions in crucial moments of the game, one being a pick 6. And one of those interceptions, actually, right after Mac Hollins scored, we stopped the Seahawks, and then it was 19-7. So if we score on that next drive, 19-14, we get another stop.
Exactly. We had a chance at that point before that.
Dude, dud going to Kyle Williams, streaking across the field, man.
It was nowhere near him. It was nowhere near him.
Also, some big drops by Hunter Henry, Kayshon Boutte that could have kept drives alive. All in all, it was a terrible offensive performance. We need more O-line help and an elite wide receiver to help May out next season, in my opinion.
Again, I think the offensive line is the biggest need there. I don't know. Again, the tight end, Seattle wasn't very good against tight ends this year, but they shut him down this time. I mean, Henry had at least 2 drops.
Two crucial drops.
One was a little behind him. The other one was just a clear drop. So, I mean, again, I thought the game plan should have been different in this game.
You're right.
But it is what it is at this point. Everything's 20/20 hindsight,
That's it, man. And then let's bring up what I noticed from the defense, Frankie.
Yes, sir.
So our run defense that has been superior all year, they allowed Kenny Walker III to run for 135 yards, making him the first running back to win Super Bowl MVP since Terrell Davis in 1998.
Yeah, it was a while.
In the beginning of the game, they were keeping Seattle in check, only allowing a few field goals. They just had to keep going back on the field with no breaks due to the offense's lackluster performance, like I was just talking about.
Yep.
Darnold didn't have the best night either, though. He was 19 for 38, barely 200 yards passing, and 1 touchdown in the fourth quarter. The defense held Seattle to 1 for 4 in the red zone and kept them in check on third down. Seattle was 4 for 16. I don't blame the defense one bit in this one, though, Frankie, especially in the beginning of the game. And Gonzo, he needs an extension ASAP. He's truly a lockdown corner.
Yeah, he played great. I mean, they had one play, blown coverage out there. JSN would have been gone. Darnold overthrew him. I didn't think Darnold played great. I thought the defense played good. We didn't really get any turnovers, though, which was tough. I mean, they
had a few of them.
They could have. There was 2 or 3 of them that could have been intercepted. We needed it.
Right.
They played great, though. They kept us in the game. And unfortunately, the offense just couldn't get it going.
But man, that pass breakup going to Shaheed by Gonzo was nasty, bro.
That was a sick play right there.
So, Frankie, I say going into this offseason, the needs on defense, we should be looking for another elite pass rusher, a.k.a. Max Crosby, and we could use some safety depth to help Woodson and Hawkins.
I love it. I mean, Crosby just came out yesterday and said he will not play for the Raiders next season. So
bring him to New England, Frankie.
Yeah, hopefully Brady does the right thing. He's deleting the pictures off Instagram and shit. You better trade us Max Crosby for an 18th round pick, even though there's only 7 rounds, baby.
That's all we got, Frankie.
Why don't we get into a lava round? Keith, what do we got?
Yes, sir, Frankie. Before we get into, the offseason, our predictions for the free agency class and all that, man, let's bring up the NFL awards recap real quick and the ones we made predictions on.
Love it.
So, Coach of the Year, like we talked about, obviously went to Patriots Mike Vrabel.
Love it.
Comeback Player of the Year was Christian McCaffrey. Offensive Rookie of the Year was Teteroa McMillan. Mm-hmm. Defensive Rookie of the Year was Carson Schlesinger.
Nasty.
Offensive,
so nasty.
He is, dude. Offensive Player of the Year was Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yep.
Defensive Player of the Year, obviously Myles Garrett. And MVP wasn't Drake May, it was Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, I took Stafford just because from a betting standpoint, but it is bull. I mean, I still think Drake was very deserving and could have won it. You know what I mean?
I do too.
It's just one of those things. One voter voted for Justin Herbert. Your boy Herbert.
That wasn't me.
Your boy Herbert got that vote? What the hell? Talk about throwing a vote.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, he could have been 10th on the list.
So, Frankie,
That's insane.
You went 7-0 with all the picks.
Damn right.
I went 6-1. So, Frank Stradamus, speaking of, let's get into these
go.
predictions, bro. Let's see if you got some Frank Stradamus powers.
You know I did well on the
offseason.
free agency last year.
Yes,
Let's hit
you
it
did.
this year. You know what I mean?
So, Frankie, number 1, we're going to go with Daniel Jones. And where do you think he's going?
I mean, he got to go back to the Colts.
That's
Let's be
what I'm
real.
saying.
It's just got to be him. I mean, he played great there. Best he's ever played by far. He knows the system.
Yep.
Coach loves him. It just makes the most sense. They're going to probably re-sign him if I had to guess.
Absolutely. I don't see Indy letting Indiana Jones walk this offseason, Frankie.
They played out of their minds when he was there.
He started the season 8-2, going on a little skid before he suffered a torn Achilles in December. The Colts are 13th in cap space going into this offseason, and he should and probably will be their main priority this offseason. Actually, I looked into it. Colts GM Chris Ballard said in his season-ending news conference that the team intends to re-sign him. Just a waiting game right now.
Yeah, yep.
Number 2, we got Kirk Cousins, Frankie. Where do you think he's going?
Kirk, I mean, he's getting there. He's, he don't got much left in the tank, but I could see him go back to Minnesota. I'm taking Minnesota. I just think that JJ's too injured a lot. I mean, he knows the system. He's a gunslinger.
Yep.
I mean, they have the wideouts for that. He's a good veteran presence. There's a lot of teams that he could go to that need quarterbacks, but I feel like just the Vikings are probably just a step ahead of some of these. But it might come down to just who's going to pay him the most, honestly.
I could see that too, Frankie. And it's not official yet. The Falcons, they haven't officially released him, but they're expected to.
They're gonna most likely
before the start of the new league year in March.
Yep.
But Frankie, I'm going to say the Dolphins.
That's a good pick too. The Dolphins were second on my list.
So Miami makes a lot of sense considering they're expected to move on from Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh yeah, he gone.
Absolutely.
He gone.
The Dolphins are currently projected to be roughly $16.4 million over the salary cap, 29th in the league in cap space. Yep. They don't have the financial flexibility to bring in a higher caliber option, making Cousins the perfect option. They have the 11th pick in the upcoming NFL draft and are projected to have a quarterback of high stature available to them. So Cousins, he also went 5-3 over his 8 starts last season. The Fins would be dumb not to give this guy a call.
Yeah, depending on how much he's
on
asking.
a 1-year deal, maybe.
Yeah, they need something.
Number 3, we got Russell Wilson, Frankie. Where's he going?
I mean, I'm surprised. He's going to get a job as a backup somewhere, most likely. I mean, there's a few teams he could possibly fight for a starting role, but I mean, let's be real. He's getting to the end of his career, but he said right after the Super Bowl, he said he wanted to come back another season. So, I mean, I have him down maybe as the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they have young guys. I mean, he can come in there and try to push for that. And then, Shedeur, I think Shedeur deserves to be started as what's on the roster right now.
Yep.
Just how he played. But I'm going to go Browns with Russell. Who do you got?
So, Frankie, I actually got the Chiefs.
Chiefs, yeah. I heard that too. he could be a good backup there. Yeah.
Well, I also wanted to say Jets or Browns for Wilson, but I'll stick to my prediction for Kansas City, and here's why. We all know who the big man on campus is over there.
He got hurt.
But remember, like you said, Pat Mahomes, he tore his ACL in Week 14 with a 9-12 recovery timetable, putting his start to the next season and possibly more in jeopardy.
Yeah, you want him to start the first month or two, then you keep him in contention for as long as you can.
Mind you, last year's quarterbacks, their backup quarterbacks, Gardner Minshew also tore his ACL, and Chris Oludekon, they're both not under contract currently for the Chiefs. And signing Wilson just makes too much sense to me.
It does make a lot of sense, actually.
Also, considering the Chiefs are dead last in cap space, how much are you going to have to pay Russell Wilson? Think about it.
Not much.
That's it. So, Frankie, number 4, we got Aaron Rodgers. And
this is the easiest one of all of them. It's got to be Pittsburgh.
So,
Mike McCarthy back. I mean, he's not going to go anywhere else. If he loves McCarthy, they reunite them, then he might stay.
So I did say the Steelers as well. And actually, I wrote it's either going to be Pittsburgh or retirement.
That's what I wrote, too, right there.
There you go.
Pittsburgh or retire.
And you nailed it, bro. His former head coach in Green Bay, Mike McCarthy, is the new head coach in Pittsburgh. Both won a Super Bowl together in Green Bay. So that maybe itself could be enticing for Rodgers. But even at age 42, Rodgers led the Steelers to a 10-7 record with 3,322 pass yards, 24 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions en route to winning the AFC North. But let this man do his darkness retreat or whatever the hell he does for his psychedelics.
I just hope he doesn't put Pittsburgh in a weird position prior to the draft like he's done for years.
Many times.
With teams. It's like, are you coming back? I haven't decided yet. It's like, I understand that he has to decide, see if he wants to play, if he's like healthy enough and had enough fun doing it. Like, it's one of those things where he doesn't need the money, but does he want the retirement yet or not? Does he want to hang him up? That's really what it comes down to.
They won the division last year.
I would come back. I mean, he played well enough. Like you said, playoffs, division winner. Like, you played good. Your roster's not bad. You went into the playoffs without, the last couple weeks without DK and stuff. Like, it's like, you have a good team right there. So, that's not a bad team.
And his old
head coach is now the coach. So
there you go.
I think he should come back at least one more season. I would.
We'll see what happens with that, Frankie.
Yes, sir.
And lastly, we got Malik Willis. Where do you think he's going, Frankie?
This guy is the dream of a lot of people out there. He's looked good at times. He's looked really terrible at times with the Titans. But the last couple times he's filled in for Jordan Love, he played out of his mind. Last year and this year. So, to me, you want to go get this guy, especially if you have a terrible draft pick. But my two spots are either Miami or the Cardinals. I'm going for the Cardinals here just because what you talked about with the cap space, 1. And 2, if Malik Willis is smart, you want to go to the Cardinals. Tyreek Hill's all banged up, and who knows if he's even going to come back after that bad injury, from Miami. Right. It might be a career ender, or he'll lose a step. Of weapons over there. What I mean? So, to me, the Cardinals have everything you want.
I agree.
What I mean? The Cardinals have a great setup for him. They're already used to a running quarterback. Kyler Murray's pretty much done there, it looks like. To me, Cardinals, go out and get this kid. Trey McBride is an absolute animal. You have a young receiver, Marvin Harrison. And if Wilson comes back and all that, they have a good team there.
Dude, I totally agree. Totally agree. I'm saying Cardinals as well.
Yeah, that's great, yeah.
Even with Kyler Murray still currently there, he could get traded this offseason, which we've been hearing.
He don't even want to. He wants to play video games or something.
Well, that's the thing, too. Video games. Listen to this. New Cardinals head coach Mike LaFleur, he could get some inside scoop on Willis from his brother and Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, who coached Willis in Green Bay last year. Now, Willis started 2 games in 2024 for the Packers, going 2-0, and he threw for 550 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 INTs, and he had 1 start this past season, narrowly losing to the Ravens, but he had 4 appearances this season. He had 422 pass yards and 3 touchdowns. The quarterback situation in Arizona is a show.
Absolutely.
Like I said, Murray could be dealt, and Jacoby Brissett, he went 1-11 as a starter last year.
You look at Jacoby Brissett's fantasy numbers, the kid went bananas.
Yeah,
so you look at Malik Willis going there, this kid could have 5,000 points a game.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like nuts. So, I mean, to me, I'm totally with you.
Right.
I think it's a great setup for him there if he goes there. Again, if the money's right, you should go there for sure.
And I think it's a good opportunity for a guy like him who hasn't really been known as a full-time starter to go there. And like you said,
I mean, he was drafted pretty high. He played great at Liberty. He was one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch.
He almost won the Heisman.
He was unbelievable to watch. But he went to the Titans, which is a terrible fit for any quarterback right now.
Right.
And unfortunately, he just didn't get the reps and looked like crap. So, I mean,
like
that team was no good.
They got some receivers over there, and Michael Wilson, MHJ,
I mean, get your money, get your bag first, though. Because this might be the only big contract you ever get, but you look up to set yourself up, too.
I think Arizona's the place,
Yeah,
Frankie.
Definitely. I love that.
That's all we got, Frankie. We'll see what happens, brother.
Boom. Another great episode. Tough loss, though, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good love around, but that Foxboro focus hurts. But
it does.
It was really a great season for the Pats, though. I got to give them credit for that. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So thank you all for liking, subscribing, sharing, and all that. So Yeah, so I mean, with football ending, we still got basketball. You know what I mean? So that's good. And there's actually a really cool basketball animation movie coming out called GOAT.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool, Frankie, actually. A lot of big actors providing voices for that. You got Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things.
Yep.
David Harbour, also from Stranger Things.
I saw that, yeah.
Steph Curry, Jelly Roll, Nick Kroll.
Wow.
Like, man, they got a lot of big actors in that.
Yeah, that seems cool. I mean, it'll be fun. I'll bring the kids to it probably, but... Hey, do you hear that dribbling?
Frankie, it's the GOAT over there, man. Look at him.
Yep.
Oh, he's putting up a Jimmy.
I like it.
All right, Frankie, he knows the deal, man. Let's get him on out of here, bounce.
Yeah, buddy. You're the GOAT around here, Keith. But from being town to your town, stay wicked pissa.
From the TD garden to your garden, thanks for listening, everybody. We're going to see you guys next week.